Welcome to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast, hosted by Patti Saponaro. Be prepared to hear stories of triumph, challenge, and overcoming. Along the way, you'll learn a few things too. But most importantly, you'll learn one thing. Say Bella, which means you are beautiful. Welcome to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast.
Hello, I'm Patti Saponaro with Fiorina Beauty, and I am so blessed to have my daughter, Brianna, here today. Brianna, say hi.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Of course, my pleasure, and thanks for taking the time because I know you are running around. You have a very hectic schedule, busy job, on your feet. Tell us a little bit about what you do and
Yeah, my career has always been wrapped in some sort of event planning, some sort of hospitality, whatever, it be wedding planning or bartending or catering sales, going to the wedding and managing it, whatever it may be. It's typically not in front of a computer. It's not sitting down. It's out and about, being on site. So I've been a food tour guide as a side gig for years now, since 2019. And I just started working full time with her. She has been asking me for years to help her run the business. So I finally am helping her do that. And I still do the tour guiding itself. We take people around Dallas. We are launching in Fort Worth. We're launching in Grapevine. We have Vegas tours. So a lot of expansion at the moment, a lot of busyness. Majority of that falls on me. I help run the business as well. So still getting to do that hospitality event, coordinating things, meeting people, being out there, which is important to me, but it is a ever-evolving schedule. It is not a normal, 9 to 5, I'm working, and then I'm done. Right. And I have weekends off. That is not the lifestyle. I don't prefer that lifestyle. It seems too repetitive and just not really what I'm after. But that does cause things to be a little hectic and can be crazy and can be stressful or taxing on the body or whatever it may be. It's just not the usual lifestyle that people live.
Right. Well, when you were traveling 3.5 years, international event planner, that was very taxing on your body.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, definitely. Being never home in different time zones, 16-hour flights or multiple day flights. If you're going to Africa, it's 2 days. Asia can be 2.5 days. Right. So that whatever underlying conditions there may have been, being on a plane nonstop is difficult. You're dehydrated. Your body is all kinds of achy and pains. And that was years ago that I finished it, but I still feel like I'm playing catch up, even with my hydration, even with, I've got x-rays done at the chiropractor not long ago in my spine. There's imperfections in it. You can start to see it kind of crumble a little, which was, to me, they seem like a little abnormal for a 31-year-old. But then when I explained some of the life experiences that I've had, it made a little more sense to them. But caring for that side of things is important too. But getting the nutrients to support the, abuse that my body went through is always really important as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, for sure. So it's definitely caused a toll. Like seeing those x-rays was real interesting. Like, oh wow, I really do see maybe why I have some of the pains and maybe some of the things and what my body has gone through and the way it's changed.
Yeah. Well, you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
You're a walking miracle.
Right.
You were 19. Graduated from A&M, determined. You've always been very determined and just amazing grit. And pretty much anything that you do well, and you excel at it. And then being the international event planner, that's just so tough on your body.
Yeah.
And I was so pleased because you did that right out of college. I was so pleased you were living with me so I could go get your food and make you food because there was just no way.
No.
You were exhausted.
Would have never got laundry done either.
No, yeah.
Just plane to plane and home for maybe a week, and it was great.
And I was your personal chauffeur. To the airport and
Uber
back.
driver,
Yeah.
yeah.
I loved every moment of it. It was fun. And now you're just out on your own and still hectic schedule and demanding schedule. And so not easy. No, it's not easy. But at the same time, you're doing it well and you're excelling. And I'm always, of course, so proud of you. And you know what? I mean, I'm going to be recruiting you to.
Yeah.
We won't say that because Jody, and we'll keep that under our belt. But I wanted to sit with you because you have so much insight and you're so incredible. And just kind of address some of the questions that some ladies have. I think one of the biggest ones is taste. Does it taste good?
Yeah.
Because not everybody's crazy, right? Like me. I mean, I have done some crazy things over the years. Drank clay and I don't even know what in the world, right?
Yeah.
But you got to taste the Beauty Balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Taste delicious?
Yeah. No, it tasted really good. I think if someone has an aversion, you can always mix it into anything, mix it into a smoothie, use a better for you sugar, maybe stevia or something like that, if you really need to sweeten it up for any reason. But I think it tasted good on itself, by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. We all do. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
And what's amazing about it is it's monk fruit, stevia, lemon, and lime juice. That's it.
Right.
Yeah. No chemicals. Because what people don't understand is, sugar's a dehydrator. Yet, the common one that they go for is a ton of sugar.
Right.
Well, same as nutrition. If there's a lot of chemicals and artificial sweeteners, that's going to work against you.
Yeah.
So everything's natural. It's all just herbs and vitamins. So taste, delicious. Let's talk a little bit about, some people are wondering, I'm trying to remember some of these questions. How would it improve my life? Well, let me ask you. I know we're waiting all so anxiously to have Beauty Balance and have this powder. I know I feel amazing on it, but I only had a little bit.
Yeah.
And I took some today and I just feel great. You're in a great mood. I mean, what would it do for your life if you could wake up, mix one little powder in a water or a smoothie, and you'd have all day energy, no crash, no cravings. You would be able to burn fat instead of stored fat. You would be in a great mood because there's a lot of good mood herbs in there. Yeah. You would have that adaptogens, which gives you that calm, very a euphoric, relaxed, calm intensity, if you will, because you have mental clarity and you have mental focus. And you're able to, and yes, balancing of the hormones and balancing of the blood sugar. But I mean, how would that help you in your hectic life and your hectic job?
Yeah, I mean, it would help it substantially. I do some of those things. I get a monthly IV, and that week that I get that IV and the B12 shot, I mean, better mood, so much energy, able to do things. I've recently cleaned my balcony out, kind of redid my balcony. I have different projects I want to do around the apartment, and I'm unable to do them without something that's giving the clarity, giving the mood boost, giving whatever it may be. So it would be just an overall life enhancer. I mean, I talk with my therapist all the time about, okay, next project, we literally talk about how I need to clean out my closet and how to do it, but it's hard when you're so busy and have very minimal time at home to then want to do something like that. Yeah. So having additional no crash energy would be huge. But as well as any appetite suppressors, I'm going nonstop. I don't like to eat in the morning. I prefer to intermittent fast. So then being able to push out and not be hungry, during my food tour when I don't eat, when I'm with my guests, or if I have to go to the next thing and I really can't eat until maybe 5 or 6, being able to carry myself over instead of just going to the closest snack out and about. That's never nutritious. That's never good for you, but you're so desperate. You're so hungry. Right. You don't have anything holding you over protein bars do nothing for me, and it's usually a ton of sugar and they're expensive. So I never opt to bring those around. So then I end up in a drive-through line or whichever it may be. But if I could have something that truly addresses an appetite and gives you that energy and from the different cells in your body, that would be huge. And improve overall quality of life and multiple things, but primarily just those projects you don't want to do. And then when you're out, you're hungry, you have no food with you, and Chick-fil-A is the closest thing.
Right.
And you're starving, and so you just do it.
Right.
Not really caring at that moment what truly it is.
Right.
So I think that would help for sure.
Yeah, what a great point. Because honestly, that is exactly, okay, so a few good nuggets. It's fasting approved.
Right.
I don't know if I told you, or I probably did. No calories, no sugars, no carbohydrates. Like it is fasting approved.
That's perfect.
Yes. So you could even, you start your day with it, or you bring it and drink it. I mean, whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so just gives you that edge. And you're absolutely right. And you brought up a lot of great points of what a benefit that it would be to just have this drink that you just drink, and then now you can have self-control. So now everything is working for you, right? So we know that it's going to put us in a fat-burning state, which is amazing for energy, right? And for health, as we talked about, the fat holds toxins and just environmental things. But also, like you said, my goodness, just that appetite suppressant and curbing those cravings to allow us to not go for the things that we usually go to, right? The go-tos that we know are not so great, but like you said, we're just so hungry. Yeah. So yeah, it gives us that edge to be able to continue on and push through the day, because I would have to guess that you're not alone. I know I do the same. You know what I mean? I'm at work and I'm like, okay, should I go home now? And you hem and haw, and then you don't get there. And then you come in and you're going to eat your house out. Yeah. And you don't stop. Yeah. So that is huge in itself. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up, because honestly, it's a huge thing. So the other thing is they've asked, well, when should I take it? I mean, I personally think morning is best. So then you can start your day out in a good mood. You can have everything just balanced out. You can have those adaptogens and all of those different synergistic blends that we have in, because we have mood blends, we have hormone blends. Why not let them work for you? And it won't interfere, because I do intermittent fasting like yourself. I've been doing it for years, decades. And it was difficult because you really couldn't find something that you could take to help you, go a little longer, because the longer you go with intermittent fasting, the healthier it is and the better it is for your body. So this is kind of that cheat, if you will, but it's not even a cheat. Right. It's legal, if you want to say that, right? Yeah. So that's really a plus. Another question someone asked, what will this do for hormones and hot flashes? So it will address the PMS, the hot flashes, the night sweats, all of those hormonal annoying things that we experience. It will address all of that. Yeah. So that's amazing in itself. Someone else asked, well, how would this improve my life? How would you speak to that? How would this improve my life?
I think if anybody has any sort of mood issue, energy issue, hormone issue, which I would want to say majority of women do. I don't think there's very many women out there that don't have something that goes into one of those categories. So if you could get a handle on right before your period, anything makes you cry, the smallest commercial. I cried at a TikTok of Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce the other day, because it's just so much more intensified. Yeah. Getting those pains, maybe you have pre-diabetes, maybe you have some kind of underlying health condition that you don't know how to get a handle on. It's hard. Things are expensive. If you can just roll all those supplements into one, that's going to improve life as a whole, saving money, saving time, saving the headache maybe of going to multiple doctors or spending money on that, or just trying to figure out, what should I take? There's a million supplements out there.
Right.
Having that formula that works for you and not against you, or there's a placebo effect and doesn't do anything, but you don't truly know, will overall improve anybody's life.
Yeah, I love that. I agree. I agree. Taking the complication and the burden of, I don't know what to get.
What does my body need?
Yes.
And a lot of people run into that. I know I have one of my friends right now who's struggling with that. She knows there's a hormone imbalance going on. She doesn't know what to take. She's tried a lot of things. She's now working and using Chinese medicine, like whatever it may be, but people go through a whole journey and experience to find what things are going to work for their body and their symptoms. And I know that, there's multiple people out there witnessing extreme weight gain, and they didn't really do much with their diet. They don't know, they know it looks like inflammation. It feels like inflammation. I struggle with that. A lot of people struggle with that. Trying to get a hold of those things and get back to the place where your body used to be. But the older you get, more things can keep coming up, and then no one truly teaches you how to address that or truly tells you what's going to work. They just throw some sort of Band-Aid that would be a temporary fix at that time, and not something that's going to get to the root of it all.
Right. Yeah. Well said. Agreed. Well said. Because honestly, whether it's hormonal imbalance or weight loss or whatever, we've got to address the root. We got to address our body, at the foundational cellular place. Otherwise, we're going to just struggle and yo-yo. And that's what this beauty balance is all about, is really addressing the body at the cellular level, at the root level. And like the formulator said, he's like, we do have Chinese herbs in there. We have herbs that have been used for thousands of years, not to mention the studies. And so, a lot of thought. This has been a very intentional, synergistic blend of those things, of what you said, because we want to get the results. One of my big things is, yes, do it right, without junk, right? Without marketing. I don't want a marketing story. No, I want the substance in the bottle. I don't want the story. Sure, the story's great. Don't get me wrong. And we need the story. But I want the substance in the bottle. So anytime someone calls me on something, I'm like, send me the ingredients. Well, you know what they do? They send me the marketing ingredients. No, I want the label so I can read the label, and then I know, is this product really going to do what they're saying it's going to do, right? Yeah, and you mentioned too, about the weight loss. Well, unfortunately, like you said, they just put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
We've got to have our blood sugars balanced. It is the key to burning fat instead of storing fat. Well, guess what? We have to have our hormones balanced. We have to be in a good mood, because like you said earlier, I come home, I'm exhausted. Who wants to clean their closet? No. Nobody does. Right? Yeah. So we need that little extra help. We need that little extra boost, if you will, not from an espresso shot. Not that those are bad, but people enjoy them. But we need that extra boost so we can come home. I know I was in the same boat. I got home from work and I'm like, I need to grocery shop. I don't have a lick of food in my house. Yeah. I don't want to do that, but I have to do that. Right? Yeah. So it's real. Yeah. The struggle's real, as we say, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was good. Let's see. What else did they say? I think probably the biggest thing of how it will impact our life, Fiorina Beauty is, as you know, we're women. We're women owned. We're women operated. We understand what we want. We understand what we need, right? And we can relate to each other. And so Fiorina Beauty is a movement. It's a platform for us women to do this, to talk about things. I just learned some things from you. We can always learn from each other. Right. And I think that, it impacting us in a very simple way of just drinking a little drink. But Fiorina Beauty, we also have so much more for you ladies. We want to empower women. Now, are we coming and empower women to feel better and be in a good mood and to have energy? Absolutely. Yes. But we also want to empower them. We're going to probably do these little talks, and we're going to have a platform where they can reach out and say, hey, I'm feeling this or I'm feeling that, or and we're going to have experts come on and give tips. And, so you're correct. It's going to impact us in many, many ways. And we're just so excited. And we're going to do events someday. Yeah. And I know you're going to run them. I'll help. We've done events before. Yes. But you're really amazing at them. So, with that, anything else that you can think of that somebody might have a question about that we haven't touched on?
They may want to know, how much water should I mix it with, or what all can I mix it with? Can I mix it with my latte or something else? What are the limitations on how to make your drink and how to get those nutrients in?
Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay, I didn't think about that. Okay, so we don't want to mix it in anything hot.
Okay.
Because that will affect the herbs. Yeah. Cold, fine, right? So a smoothie or water. Mm-hmm. But I almost would just love for people to just put the water initially and take note of your body. Yeah. And let us know. But anything that's cold is fine. I don't think it's going to affect anything that's in there. There's cinnamon and there's ginger and there's just so many great things. But yeah, great question. That's why I had you on here, because I know you'd think,
Yeah. Well, the hot water is good to know. Someone could just put something that is hot.
No,
so that
I want to do that.
Good point. Yep.
Yes, just cold water. Yeah. Oh, and what about this one? This will help us sleep.
That's good.
I know. So you wouldn't think, right? Something that's going to give me mental clarity and focus and
the
energy. Exactly. That is exactly it.
The ashwagandha that I take, you can take a day or night. It's the same thing.
Yes.
So that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll notice their sleep. And so anyway, I think probably the best thing, if someone starts to take, if they don't mind just taking some notes and just being aware and watching the things. And then, of course, comment below and share with us everything you're noticing, because we're going to be so excited to hear from you and get some feedback from you. And I know that you and I will be doing this little round table, even though we don't have a round table, a little round table, because you're going to think of things that I'm not thinking of. But we just kind of wanted to just touch on some basics. Right?
Do you suggest people not have their caffeine intake daily the first maybe 1 or 2 days to see how it affects their energy levels?
Might be a good idea, but I don't know if anybody can really go without their coffee. So I'm going to say, drink your coffee, do this. You know why? Because when you address the body, and by the way, great question. When you address the body at the cellular root foundational level, they're going to be able to tell.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people just enjoy that warm, it's not just the coffee, it's that warmness or the taste or whatever it is. So they can continue to do that. They may notice that they don't need as much coffee. Maybe they drink few cups a day. Some people drink all day long. Right. They might notice, I don't even, really need this anymore. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that I know that they're gonna see a difference, and they're gonna feel great, and yeah, and they can always do an experiment too with their own body.
Yeah.
I love to do that. You know, over the decades of me, just health coach, health passion, health nut, health advisor, I would always use myself as the guinea pig. That's actually how I got into health, excuse me. And you know the story. I read a book when I was 18. My neighbor gave it to me. And I thought, I'm going to just do this.
Yeah.
And I never felt better. I had headaches and stomach aches every day. Well, I didn't realize dairy was just not my friend.
Yeah.
Yes. And I always kind of just used my little self as a guinea pig. And it's really a great way to learn more about our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I would encourage, ladies to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Brianna, for being with us. Your insight's always amazing. And I know that I'm excited to work this journey with you because you are a dynamo. You've done some amazing things and you are continuing to. And of course, I'm just so proud and honored to be your mom. So thanks for coming on. And
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me.
yeah, and your questions were amazing, as I knew they would be. So you and I will probably be putting more together. Who knows? But with that, I just want to say Bella, you're beautiful, and you're beautiful. And Bella Faccia, as my grandmother would say to you, if she got to meet you, you're beautiful. I love you.
Love you.
Thanks, Brianna.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of the Fiorina Beauty Podcast. We hope you found inspiration and valuable insights to enhance your wellness journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with your friends and family. Your feedback means the world to us. Make sure to subscribe to the Fiorina Beauty Podcast on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. We release new content every week packed with tips, stories, and interviews to empower you on your path to beauty and well-being. Remember, your support helps us grow and reach more listeners like you who are passionate about living a balanced and radiant life. Together, let's continue this journey of beauty and empowerment. Stay tuned for next week's episode, and until then, say Bella. Thank you again for listening.